So those two teams are still at the top for me, but right now in the finals, I still have What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Today, I'm going to share with you guys my early predictions for the 2025 WNBA season. And I guess it's not that early because the season actually starts in just a couple weeks, which reminds me that I still have not booked my flights yet for the Indiana Fever first preseason game on May 3rd. If any of you guys will also be at that game, make sure that you come and say hello. But I am super excited for that. But with that, you guys, here are some of my predictions for this upcoming WNBA season. Of course, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Let's jump right in. So let's start with our 2025 WNBA MVP, and that has to go to the one and only Caitlin Clark. You can say I'm glazing, you can say I'm hyping her up too much, but I truly think that this second year for Caitlin Clark is going to be like nothing we have ever seen. She has had an entire offseason to train, to get into the gym, to work on things that she struggled with during her rookie season. We have seen from the photos, from the videos, from the workouts that she has put on quite a bit of muscle. So it seems like she is taking all of these things so seriously. I did an interview with Coach Keith Porter a couple months ago, and he talked about some of the things that he was working on with Caitlin. Stephanie White also did an interview recently and talked about other things that they were working on with her and with her game. And it seems like the relationship between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark, it seems like they are so locked in. And from the minute that Stephanie White arrived in Indiana, she was on the court at Caitlin Clark's workout and they were just getting to work. It seems like Caitlin has been in the gym every single day. And if she wasn't in the gym, she was either golfing or doing some sort of speaking engagement. But I don't think that a lot of fans realize how much having this off season, this entire off season, is going to help her going into her second year. She went into her rookie year after coming off a very long college career. She had a couple weeks off, then went straight into the WNBA season. And then she was getting face guarded. She was getting double teamed. The physicality was like nothing that she ever saw in college. And that was a lot to adapt to. And we saw the kind of numbers, points, assists, things that she was doing led her team to the playoffs that she did in her rookie season with all of that. Now just think about her having an entire off season, all of this time to train. She knows how she needs to adapt, and not to mention the new team that Indiana has now. The Indiana Fever did incredible in free agency, and now Caitlin Clark is surrounded by not just a couple great players, the entire squad is finally full. So my prediction going into this season is that teams are not going to be able to face guard, to double team, to pick up full court like they were last year, because there are so many other threats on the court with this Indiana Fever team. And I think with having a coach like Stephanie White, she's going to have a better system, a better scheme to break some of these defenses that they didn't have last year. So I think all of this put together is just a perfect storm, a perfect recipe for Caitlin Clark. Like Keith Porter told us in the interview that I did with him a couple months ago, he absolutely thinks that this could be her MVP season in just her second year in the WNBA. That is why she is my choice for the 2025 WNBA MVP. Sticking with the Indiana Fever, my prediction for Coach of the Year is Coach Stephanie White. It felt like when she got to Indiana, there was an immediate shift in the culture and the seriousness of this Indiana Fever franchise and organization and team. When she got to Indiana, she brought over a lot of the people that she had worked with at the Connecticut Sun. She also brought in players that she was already familiar with, players that she had known even back in their college days. She was on the court immediately with these players as they were bringing in new people in free agency. We have heard from her in multiple interviews. It just seems like there is a level of seriousness with Coach White that they maybe didn't have last year with the Indiana Fever, and I think she gets it. She knows that these women want to win now, and she is ready to do that. I also think that she has been in the league for long enough. She has seen the different schemes that these other teams run, and she's just ready to get to work. I think the Indiana Fever are going to be super scary when it comes to the run and gun game, because we have heard from almost every single player and coaches and Coach Stephanie White when they talk about what you can expect from this Indiana Fever team. They want to run, they want to be fast, they want to get up and down, they want to wear teams out. And so that's also why I predict the Indiana Fever will lead all teams in team scoring. So I think that they will be putting up crazy numbers this year with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston all coming back, but now they have threats like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall is back, and we'll just have to see how all of these women gel together on the court. But I think the ceiling is so high for this team, and I think Stephanie White knows exactly what to do to get them all on the same page and help them to win now. So let's talk about the WNBA Finals, and this one is so hard for me to predict at the moment, but I still think that I have the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx in the running of my top two teams in the WNBA. They didn't change too much in their roster, but the people that they did add to their team just made both of these teams better. Both of these teams did really well in free agency. You have your superstars returning. I think Napheesa Collier has a chip on her shoulder. I think she wants revenge. I think she is going to come back with a vengeance this season. She did incredible in Unrivaled. I think both offensively and defensively, Napheesa has taken her game to the next level. But then on the other side, the New York Liberty picked up Maureen Johansson. I don't think people realize how much of a sniper that she is, how great of a player that she is, and they just added another offensive threat to this already stacked New York Liberty team. So those two teams are still at the top for me. I do think the Indiana Fever could hop in there. Let's see how the Indiana Fever team gels together. But right now in the finals, I still have the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx with how their rosters stack out now. Of course, any of that can change, but let's see. Speaking of the Minnesota Lynx, I have Napheesa Collier winning Defensive Player of the Year this season. Like I said, I think she is coming back into this season with a vengeance, and I saw so much good defense from her in Unrivaled. And I think that's one thing about Unrivaled in that 3-on-3 full court format, and even with the one-on-one games that we saw, players were getting exposed if they weren't able to guard one-on-one on defense. And Napheesa is somebody who exposed a lot of players with her defensive abilities, with her blocking abilities, with how quick she has gotten. She continues to elevate her game. And so I have her as a favorite, as my favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. Sorry, you guys, I had to restart my camera, but let's jump right back into some of these predictions. Let's talk about Rookie of the Year. This one is really hard for me to name at this point in time because I feel like there are so many different scenarios that can happen. Obviously, I think Paige Bueckers will be in the running for Rookie of the Year, but I'm still interested to see how Dallas utilizes her. If it's something where Paige goes into Dallas and Arike and Paige become a backcourt like Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell were, that would be incredible for Paige if they're able to share the ball like that and they just work into the offense cohesively, and Dallas makes sure that she is interwoven into this offense and the ball is also going through her as well. I think that that would be outstanding for Paige. However, she is not going to be the point guard on that team. It's very different from last year where I feel like the Rookie of the Year race was pretty much just Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They were different positions, but Caitlin Clark went into that Indiana Fever team being the point guard, having the ball in her hands for the most part, being able to put up stat lines like she was. She was playing every single minute of every single game. And with some of these rookies, I think Paige will start right off the bat, but will a Dominique Malonga start for Seattle? Will they run the ball through her? I think Dominique has endless potential, but how will Seattle utilize her? Will they utilize her in the right way where she's able to pop out to the three, pick and roll, play some in the post? Defensively, Dominique is also going to be really great. So that's someone who's on my Rookie of the Year radar as well. But then you have players like Anissa Morrow, who's going to a team that is truly in a rebuild phase. So she is going to be on the floor, get a ton of minutes, be able to really help that team. So Rookie of the Year for me now, I feel like is anyone's race. We also have Yosite going to the Valkyries. Will she start right away? Will the ball go through her? There are so many options here. It is so hard for me to predict. I think the media is definitely going to stick to Paige and most eyeballs are going to be on her. But I hope that we're able to cover this whole rookie class and just see how things start to unfold, because at this point in time, there's a few that I think could be in that mix. And and it's really exciting to see. And speaking of younger players, my prediction for jersey sales, and this might be a hot take, but I think the top 5 jersey sales this year in the WNBA are going to be either rookies or sophomores. And I know that sounds crazy and some vets might hate me for that, but I still think that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are going to be up there in jersey sales. I think Paige Beckers is going to be up there in jersey sales. That's already 3. The last 2, if you guys remember last season, Kate Martin was in the top 5 in jersey sales. Will she be up there again with the Golden State Valkyries now that she is going to be one of the faces of that franchise? I feel like at least 4 out of the top 5 jersey sales are going to be young players. These young players just have the aura. They have the fans behind them. And I think we're going to see a lot of jersey sales. I think they're going to break records in jersey sales across the board though for the WNBA. And that goes into one of my final predictions is I think that this WNBA season is going to be the biggest season that the WNBA has ever seen. When it comes to viewership, when it comes to ticket sales, when it comes to merch sales, when it comes to social media imprints, I think they are going to break so many records. I think with the Caitlin Clark effect that we saw last year, there are so many new fans that flooded the sport. And with that, all these new fans also have new favorites. They are tuning into other teams. They are buying jerseys of other players that they saw because they came to the league from Caitlin Clark, but now they are seeing all of this great talent that is on the court. I've just seen the influx in fans, in excitement around the league. We've seen the prices for tickets for a lot of these games. And this is my very last prediction, and this might be a wild one. It might be too hot of a take, but I predict that one game this year will be moved to an NBA arena, and it won't be a game that is versus the Indiana Fever. So we have seen that the Indiana Fever, when they go on the road, their away games become home games for them, and so many of their opponents are moving their games to bigger arenas. I think that there is going to be one other game this year, and I'm not sure what team it's going to be, but I think there's going to be another game that moves to a bigger arena, but the Indiana Fever aren't one of the 2 teams. We'll see if it happens. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my predictions, and if there's anything else that you want me to predict before the WNBA season starts. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week. And with that, you guys, I'll see you next time. Ooh, yeah.